Hello, welcome to Let's Talk Sport. Today marks 5 years since Jurgen Klopp was appointed Liverpool manager, and what a wonderful ride it's been for us Liverpool fans. In that time, he's turned Liverpool fans from doubters to believers, and Liverpool from doubters to champions of everything, pretty much. He's changed the landscape of the club. He's changed the club from a sad, struggling mid-table mediocrity under Brendan Rodgers to a team that last season won the Premier League in unbelievable fashion, unbelievable style. He's a man that is a football club legend and will go down as one of the greats of Liverpool Football Club history. It's been a wonderful 5 years, and in this video I'm going to talk about how he has impacted the football club over the last 5 years. I'm just going to briefly just talk about, because before he comes to Liverpool and England, he managed in Germany, he managed at Mainz, and between 2001 and 2008. His record was pretty decent there for a team that was struggling and gained promotion to the Bundesliga. He got them the first ever Bundesliga promotion in 2003 to 2004, and his record there was 109 wins, 78 draws and 83 losses, so not too bad for a side that doesn't have high finances and never been in the league before. In 2008 he moved to Borussia Dortmund, 179 wins, 69 draws and 70 defeats. It's still a pretty decent record, but again, a team without too much money. In that time at Dortmund, he won their first Bundesliga title in years in 2010-11 and won it again in 2011-12, won the DFB Pokal in 2011-12, runner-up in 13-14 and 14-15 to Bayern Munich and Wolfsburg. DFB Super Cup 2013 winners, 2014 winners, runners up in 2011 and 12, and he got them to the Champions League final for the first time since 1997. Obviously, he had a good reputation in Germany, big reputation, and when he got the opportunity to come to Liverpool, he jumped at it. He said, the quote here about his opportunity of coming to Liverpool: "I heard from my agent that Liverpool was interested, and I felt immediately, oh God, it's like when I first met my wife. I saw her and thought, okay, I marry her." It was like that with the club. It felt right from the very first moment. Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp was a match made in heaven. The timing was perfect. He just left Dortmund. He was available. It wasn't going to cost anything to bring him in. We weren't going to have to pay a fee. He's a man that's used to working with small budgets and developing players, and that's what Liverpool have in place. They have the transfer committee. They have the structure in place where they buy low, sell for high. And he saw it as a Coutinho transfer a couple of years ago, bought him for £8 million in 2013. January 2013, sold him in January 2018 for 146. Massive profit. Liverpool was under the 13-14 season were just pipped to the title by Manchester City under Brendan Rodgers by 2 points. The following season they lost Luis Suarez for £75 million to Barcelona, struggled to replace him. They went for quantity over quality of player, didn't work out. Brendan Rodgers got found out that season. The 14-15 season, Liverpool struggled. He was technically inept, he was out of his depth. He was phasing Steven Gerrard out of the team, and eventually they didn't offer him a contract because his ego was not Gerrard's ego, but Rodgers' ego got in the way, and Liverpool decided to let their star player leave at the end of that season. During that season, Brendan Rodgers was playing players out of position. He was experimenting with formations to try and get a winning formula. It didn't really work. He switched to three at the back, played Emre Can at right back at one point. He was a centre midfielder, played him at centre back at one point. When he had the three at the back, he had another three at the back and wing backs, which left the wings exposed. He didn't seem to understand tactics that well, and it showed, and Liverpool dropped down to a 6th place finish in the league, struggled, and I think he would have gone in that summer if Jurgen was available and not on a sabbatical. Fast forward a couple of months, Rodgers stays in. Liverpool start the season with a 1-0 away win to Stoke, which they didn't perform well in, but they got the 3 points. A lacklustre 1-0 against Bournemouth at home, which due to an offside Benteke goal. 0-0 draw with Arsenal, and it just seemed to fall apart. And after a 1-0 draw in the Merseyside derby on the 4th of October, Brendan Rodgers was sacked as the Liverpool manager. Jurgen Klopp the favourite. Ancelotti was also on the shortlist as second choice. Little did we know that in December 2019, he'd be going across the park to Everton. That was a shock. Maybe in an alternative universe, Liverpool hired Ancelotti, Klopp, Everton hired Klopp, but I don't know, think about that. Ancelotti's a quality manager though. wouldn't have been a bad second choice, but Jurgen Klopp was the match made in heaven. The timing was perfect, and everything just seemed to knit together. And obviously on the 8th of October 2015, so 5 years ago to the day since recording, Jurgen Klopp walked out at a packed press conference at Anfield, and I don't know, it was just something that thrilled all those Liverpool fans. We smiles on the face. I'm still smiling to this day. I'm delighted that we've got the man as manager, and I'm lucky enough to have met him more than one occasion. He's a fantastic guy, fantastic personality. He's not one of these managers that has one face for the media and then actually away from the media he's horrible. No, he's a fantastic guy. But I do have red tinted glasses as a Liverpool fan. But he walked into his press conference and he was posed a question. One of the first questions he was posed was, when Jose Mourinho come to Chelsea, he declared himself as the special one. He's just won the Champions League with Porto, declared himself as the special one. What do you want to call yourself? And he come in and he said that he's just a normal guy from the Black Forest. His mum was watching on TV at home. She was going to be proud of him, and he was happy to be Liverpool manager. So if you want to give me a title, I'm the normal one, maybe. And he's slightly eccentric, but he's a normal guy. He's a normal guy who's looking to have a good job in football management, a great career that he's crafted for himself. He didn't have the best of playing careers, but as a manager, he's been fantastic. It's like instantaneously he got the city, he got the club, he got the city. You was seeing him walking around town in a Beatles t-shirt. You was seeing just heavy metal t-shirts. He coined the phrase he wants Liverpool to play heavy metal football, and Liverpool have played some pretty heavy football down the years since his appointment. I remember one of the things that stands out to me early on in his career is he did a video on a segment called Cop Kids on analyses TV. Sat with a young lad in his office at Marwood, and the young lad was teaching Scouse phrases, and he had to guess what they meant and stuff like boss there and giving it bifters and stuff like that. And it was quite funny the way that he was willing to learn, having a bit of a laugh and joke about how he didn't understand certain phrases, and when he learned, and he's even used some of the phrases in his press conference, and he's really endeared himself to the Liverpool faithful. I think another thing was he was asked about history of the club and how long it's been since they won a league title, and he said you can't carry history around with you all the time. In your backpack it weighs you down. So that's one of the first things he did with the players. He told them your history weighs you down. Get about history, we've got to make new history. And he was also asked about the possibility of winning a title, and he said within 4 years I want to win we would want a title in this time. By title I believe he meant because title is used for any trophy in Germany. I believe he just meant I want a trophy. Within four seasons he actually won the big one. He won the Premier League. He won that elusive Premier League title. Since Kenny Dalglish was the last Liverpool manager in 1990 to win the title. In that time, Graham Souness, Roy Evans, Ronnie Moran caretaker as well, Gerard Houllier, Rafa Benitez, Roy Hodgson, Brendan Rodgers, 7 domestic managers, 8 of your class, Ronnie Moran caretaker, all tried and all failed to bring that elusive piece of silverware to Anfield. Jurgen Klopp come in and he did it. He's done it for a couple of years. And another thing with Jurgen Klopp having a big name in the helm was that he was able to grab a better quality, a better class of player. Okay, his first name was Marco Gruch in the January. It was an unknown player, unknown quantity, but he's come in and he's done well at Liverpool. He's done okay. He's not played loads, but he did okay at Liverpool. He's got a couple of loads on, but he's managed to develop players and bring in players. He put in Mane, Wijnaldum, Robertson and Robertson from relegated teams. People were like, what was he doing? But he's developed them into Champions League and Premier League winners. Mane for Southampton, mid-table team, one of the best strikers in the world now. Mohamed Salah for Roma, struggled at Chelsea, comes to Liverpool, fantastic. Bobby Firmino wasn't getting a look in under Brendan Rodgers, comes to Liverpool. Klopp changes the style of play, changes the system, puts him as the false 9. What do we get? World-class striker, offensive striker. It's unbelievable, and it's just the man is fantastic. The ability, what he's achieved at Liverpool in such a short space of time, that he got the fans on side straight away. It's like after we lost to Crystal Palace, some fans left early. He said, we can't have that. Yeah, he had a word with the fans and told them straight that you can't be leaving early and we need your support. What happened a couple of games later, West Brom 2-1 down, Origi deflected equaliser in the last minute. People, my fans take the mick out of the fact that he went up to the cop and did all the players holding hands and did the whole thing where they were bowing down to the cop sort of thing. That was more thanking the fans. It wasn't the result. It was more thanking the fans for staying there to the end. And one of the first things, going back to his first days at Marwood, when all the players were there, he pulled all the staff together, met every single member of staff that worked for the club, pulled them into the room, and he said to the players, you got the players to applaud them. He said, all these make your life easier. And it's true. He's the guy that got the club. He got the city. He got what everyone's about in Liverpool. And he just embodies the club. He's the perfect match. It's a match made in heaven. Obviously, you're looking at on the pitch. He developed the team. And he's developed the spine. We've got Alisson. We've got Van Dijk. We've got Van Dijk in for £75 million. Sort of defence out definitely. We've got Henderson in the midfield. Now with Santiago this summer as well, which is good. He's got competition for places, and obviously he's got the front three as well, which is quality. And now he's had a shot at this summer, which is going to put pressure on the front three as well. He's built a squad, and obviously we lost the cup final, the League Cup final to Manchester City a couple of months later, and a couple of months into his career. It was hard, but we moved on. Knocked up Dortmund, come from behind to knock out Dortmund in the Europa League, made it to the final, had that defeat to Sevilla, but it didn't feel like the end of a journey. It felt like it was the start of something, and then obviously next season we didn't achieve anything trophy wise, but we got top 4 in the league. Then we get into the Champions League, got to the final in Kiev. That defeat was deflating, but it was used to spur us on. 12 months later we lifted it in Madrid. Number 6 was brought home. Parade, everything was fantastic. Let's talk about 6 baby in his interview. Fantastic quality in there. Then the season later, the hunger was still there. 97 points and a Champions League trophy, but now they miss out on the league by a single point. Painful. But the players who used that to spur them on, and the next season we did what seemed impossible. 30 years of hurt were brought to an end. In the season, we won the Super Cup as well early on in the season, and the Club World Cup at Christmas, which is the first time we won the Club World Cup. And so you've got to make history again there. But winning the Premier League was the big one, the important one for us Liverpool fans, and he did it. He put it home. And what I wanted to say is thank you to Jurgen for doing that. And even with the 7-2 defeat last Sunday, you sensed that it was a one-off. You sensed it wasn't right, and you sensed that Jurgen was going to sort it out, and he will sort it out, and Liverpool will go on this season to compete for the title, and there's no doubt that. But over the years, Jurgen Klopp he's brought this Liverpool has become fragmented as a club. The fan base and the players were becoming separate. They weren't together and united as they've always have been, and it just seemed to be becoming a bit stale. But he just seemed to come into the club, breath of fresh air, and rejuvenated everything. It rejuvenated the fans, rejuvenated the players. It just seemed to bring us all together again, and put together stronger. Anfield's the loudest it's been in years. We've got European nights back, and dramatic European nights. You look at the Barcelona, Manchester City, Dortmund. Those 3 just spring to mind straight away. Yeah, PSG as well. Some big European nights have returned to Anfield. We're competing again. We're beating the top 6 in fixtures again. We're competing for the title again. Jurgen Klopp has turned Liverpool around in the space of 5 years, and we're now a destination for the top players to come to. When he first came in, nobody was really that interested in joining Liverpool Football Club. They were all going to Manchester City for money, Chelsea, Arsenal. Now Liverpool is the destination to come to in England. They are back on their perch thanks to this man, and it's been a wonderful journey so far. It's turned us from doubters to believers to champions, and I know that there's going to be more to